Hey there, welcome to the channel. Today we will be doing another K-pop Demon Hunters one-shot video explanation, where I go into the detail and the thought behind my different one-shots that I've written. You can find these one-shots with a link in the description and read them yourself before getting spoiled by me. Today's one-shot will be based on the very popular theory on K-pop Demon Hunters on whether or not the photo in Healer Han's store is of the Saja Boys prior to becoming demons and that they were just a failed idol group. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, I do want to preface by saying that I did do this in a rather cliche style and manner, and while cliches are often looked down upon as being uncreative or lackluster in terms of its storytelling, cliches are cliches because they work and they are effective. So there is some merit to learning how to write a cliche well, and I think I've done that reasonably well in this case over here, but that comes in later. So starting off, whenever you write something, you always want to start off with prefacing or establishing what the general vibe is of the story, especially in a one-shot where it is more important because you have to get all of this down in this one isolated chapter that doesn't really have much material surrounding it unless you're doing a one-shot based off of film like I am. Now, so how I started is I start with a rather somber, not really upbeat mood, with the doorknob rattling as someone behind it fumbled with their keys. It gives the sort of awkward, not really fluid, confident motion until a small click could be heard. It opens up and four guys stumbled into apartment, cheeks crimson as they lazily remove their shoes. This obviously sets up a tone of they're drunk, they're not clearly doing well, and they're clearly wasted. So I have the four of them walk into towards their dining room, immediately make a beeline for it, and I have one of them go towards a mini fridge and pick out a drink. They pour out a drink for themselves and they take another swig. This goes to show that they aren't really in a good mood, despite already clearly being drunk as established through the prior paragraph. One of them already goes for more alcohol, showing that this isn't a good day for them. And I have this sort of small area of tension until I have one of the guys say that was something, wasn't it? Okay, so he cracks this sort of small joke in order to try and break the ice. Now, his name is Taejun, and this is because this is prior to them becoming demons. I will explain the names right now. Taejun is the equivalent to Abby, right? Jihoon is mystery, Yoonho is baby, and the last one I'm forgetting right now, Minho, is romance. Anyways, so I have one of them swirling around the one drinking, telling Taejun or Abby that that was the best I could come up with, being kind of annoyed at that. And then Taejun replies with saying we needed this to try and lighten the mood after this disaster of a show, hinting towards an event prior towards this. I have another shout back trying to say, hey, that joke was Cooper, and then I have a groan cut in. Now I want to try and make dialogue flow as naturally as possible, so I do use filler words in my dialogue because it makes it feel as though it's more natural, using words like I mean, okay, right? These aren't like really professional essay style dialogues. I further hint towards this prior event that might have happened, using hints toward Jihoon or Mystery's panic attack and that manager quitting on us or them. Okay, so Jihoon says sorry about that, and he's the one that has the panic attack, but him apologizing shows that he's a very quiet, timid, apologetic, not really the most confident individual within the group. I have Yoonho, the one who wanted to cut through the argument, say he's not angry about that, he's angry at Minho, the one taking the drink, and Taejun, the one who cracked the joke, and for disturbing the peace, because they all just want to sit down and deal with their life, because despite Taejun only trying to lighten the mood, it was insensitive because they've all gone through a pretty shit day at this point. And they do mention that their group's pretty much toast, which is a hint towards them being a failing idol group, which is the very popular theory amongst the community currently. And then they refer to the bar that they went previously. And with the statement that their group is pretty much toast. They kind of have a silence wash over them because as the thought of years and years of work going up in flames, it kind of doesn't lead to much conversation. And then Jihoon, he just asks whether or not the group really is over like that. And then I have this sort of slow falling down where they're just like, yes, it is. And then I have Yoonho finally speak up again, and he says, is that really what we want though? So this is where the cliche comes in. It's like the darkest moment before the brightest thing. And I have him say the cliche "we can do this" speech. So Minho, the one taking a drink, he goes on this spiel about whether or not they're really asking that. They faced so much difficulties in just one day. They've had their manager quit on them to go to this new group. They've had all these different things happen to them. Is it clear it's clear that the world is against them? And I do have a slight hint towards people if they've read or watched K-pop Demon Hunters, because I do make a reference to the Sunlight Sisters, which is the group that Rumi's mom and Celine were a part of, and the Hunter group before Huntrix. After that, I have Yoonho, or Romance, make this very big speech and impassioned speech about how they've put so much time and effort into it, and it's just a very cliche speech. Obviously, while it might not feel original, it is an effective thing, and it does get a reader's emotions flowing, which is important for this one shot. After that, I have them all unify and combine, and it's like they've all combined back together, and it's the brightest moment. It follows the darkest moment to overcoming the darkest moment in the hero's journey. I do have a few mentions that lead toward them making a deal with Guima in the future, and that's with them going like, we're going to show these people that they made a mistake ever looking down upon us. And at the really end, I do this hint where Romance or Yoonho has this comment of how they're gonna make their super big cool comeback in the future. And I have the Guima do this sort of lift off cliffhanger where he says, I can help with that, in his low gravelly evil demon voice. And that's generally it. If you guys do want me to be a bit more specific whenever I do these types of stories, please tell me down in the comments down below, and comment on different story ideas that you might have for these. I'm always welcome to suggestions, and you can check out more of these in on my channel page, and I have a lot of them. I think I have around 6 now, so you can always read them yourselves on my AO3, which you can see in the comment down below. And make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. See you next week.